Hi, I'm Martin, and welcome to the Negotiation Dojo, where we communicate our needs to the world using influence, persuasion, and communication. And if we're good at those skills, then our needs will be met. I do want to talk about something that happened in class this recently in the Negotiation Dojo Live Class. One of the younger gentlemen, who happened to be an attorney, said, Martin, I did what you said. I was in this negotiation, and the other guy, the other opposing counsel, lost his stuff. He became animated. He started yelling, and I did exactly what you said, but it didn't work. And we had the negotiation dojo is a class of peers, and they were attorneys and non-attorneys. There were some salespeople and a PhD engineer who runs a technology company, and an IT person, and then a sales guy, and then an insurance guy. Um, and they were all happy. They said, no, you won that negotiation. You obviously said something to him, or you made a request that got him upset. Therefore, you're onto something. You just have to investigate and maybe look at what triggered that emotional response. It's back to Shakespeare. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. When someone has a very visceral emotional reaction, that has to do with you're onto something. And that can give you the steps to find the next thing. If that happens to you, here's a little tip. You don't want to keep pressing the button, because when we're in an emotional state, limbic system, there's not a lot of prefrontal cortex activity. Prefrontal cortex being the part of your brain that makes you human. That's emotion regulation, critical thinking, the part of your brain behind your forehead. We want to access that, not the limbic system, which is a very freeze, flight type of response. We want to get to those higher areas that have emotional regulation. When people lose it during a negotiation, and I've done thousands of negotiations in Fortune 500 companies and MO 100 uh, law firms, and raising families, and in all other contexts, do not poke the bear. If someone is triggered, what you want to do is ask an open-ended question. So uh, and just call it what it is. And Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference, great guy. He the way you explore it is his idea is give him an open-ended question. So you say, I see, and label. Chris is all about labeling. Man, I see that touched a nerve. I didn't mean to do that. Tell me more about that. Open-ended question. Open-ended question is one where you don't give them a lot of data. You just invite them to talk more. And that's one of the ways that this associate, going back to the table after our session, was able to move the needle and represent his client adequately. So know that that emotional response is not a mistake. It means you did your job right. If you're a professional, you know what to do next. And that's what we are trying to go through here in the Negotiation Dojo. Thank you very much. And remember, we communicate our needs to the world using negotiation, persuasion, and influence. And if we do those right, then our needs will be met. Thank you for joining.